This is literally the day I've been waiting for my whole life. I don't even know how to intro. I don't know how to begin.
I think we have a podcast for you, actually. We formed this whole thing just for your arrival.
A lot of episodes under your belt.
Well, of those 30 episodes, we have waited until now to have you sitting in that chair. And I don't even know how to introduce you, except to say that you are one of the reasons that I am singing, period. Literally. So thank you. And also, we have Alan Stone on the couch, baby.
Thank you, guys. That's so sweet. Oh, nice job.
By the way, you can play with all of them.
What are they?
Go.
Nice.
Oh, dude, my jokes are going to be on point today.
Oh, God. Well, you have your
And then,
built-in
you
audience. Anyway.
And if someone says something you don't like,
yeah, I use that one a lot. But anyway, thank you for being here. I think that you are a brick of music right now that people that I actually know and love and respect that are into music at all always have you in their vocabulary. So I think that it's really important, really beautiful, and amazing that you're here. And I thank you.
I'm so flattered. Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this. This is a real treat. I don't know a ton of people in Miami, and this is very far away from my home in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm so thrilled to be in your presence, Emily. We've become friends over the years, and Jem, to meet you, it's a joy.
It's mine. And I can vouch for everything that she just said. She's not just saying it because you're in front of her. She really, I believe that Emily was born to do music, but for some reason, and I don't mean to speak for you, she wasn't able to cross that threshold as a vocalist, and you really sparked that for her. So you're doing some incredible work.
Well, I'm flattered. You sing circles around me, so
Y'all. Well, podcast over, guys. Thank you so much. Hit the theme song again.
Very flattered.
That's BS.
Oh my
and
God.
actually, that's a really great segue into the first question that I wanted to pick your brain about, because yes, I sing, but I'm looking to change the way that I look at what I do as a craft. And you're always touring and like doing things. And I know that now like your social media presence has been more up. So like my first question to you is like, how are you able to, for that long, continue to sing and write and stay inspired? That's always been something that I've questioned, because there are times when I'm like, I don't want to write today, or I don't want to do this. And I'm blessed that, we have these opportunities that sometimes I don't always have to do music, right? But I'm like, how do you just keep singing, keep writing, keep going forward? I would like to know.
I have a mortgage.
Gotta pay your bills.
That is such...
No, I have you ever heard of this book called The War of Art?
No.
I haven't.
So the author approaches art almost like a discipline, like you would karate or
Rock climbing
or basketball.
Right.
Like you just have to show up and do it, and if you don't, then you aren't going to excel. You're not always going to step on the court and have a 30-point game, but unless you're in the gym every day taking jump shots, then you'll never have a 30-point game, and you probably won't be in the league anymore. I, at some point, I think it was probably like 5 or 6 years in, had to make that switch, because when I was first coming up, like music was just, it was like, and it still is.
It's like a relationship. It's like when you fall in love.
Yeah, it's the honeymoon phase. That's a perfect example.
Right. And then you have a fight. And then what?
And then you like finally see the person as a person. And you're like, oh, wow, we got to work this out. We got to figure this thing, right? Like I love you more than I've loved a human being, but we are human.
Right.
Music and the relationship to art, I think, is best utilized when it's approached in that way. That it's an attrition. You have to show up every day, as often as you can. Like, I take days off of music without question. Like, my home is my time off. I'm with my family, with my kids. But I approach art and music like a sport, like a job,
discipline,
like a discipline.
Yeah.
That if I want to do this, my goal has always been I want to do this until I want to pull the Willie Nelson. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
I want to have like
A career.
a farm. And when I'm 85 years old, I want to have all my favorite people out to this farm and hang and drink and smoke and play music together.
Yeah, man.
And in order for me to achieve that, I have to approach it, I believe, as such, like a discipline.
Yeah.
And there's moments where you're like, oh, it's easy. And there's moments when it's not. And
Just like an athlete.
just like an athlete. Yeah, like just like an accountant. Like
You don't want to wait till tax season.
Tax season is lame.
So lame.
It must be awful for an accountant, right? But if they approach it like, well, I'm not really inspired to like move the ones and zeros today. I'd be like, Ron, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's essentially how I've managed to do it and continue to do it. And I also have a team around me who like really pushes me, like they depend on me showing up.
Right.
And I love them. I respect them and I care about them. And that also kind of beckons me to
Keep going.
keep moving forward. Yeah.
But one thing that I've never missed out on is that people who are successful, doesn't matter what they do it every day, even if it's a small amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know, Jem. I see that in Jem because she's really good at a lot of things and I'm not. I'm like more focused.
I'm like ADHD in application.
Mm.
And it works for me
Mm-hmm.
because I have a lot of creative interests.
Mm-hmm.
I like to express myself musically, but I like to express myself visually as well. So for me, it's a little bit different because I feel like I'm always exercising my creative muscle, but I'm changing how I exercise it constantly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's fun. I feel like you're like that too, though. And I also feel like you're a comedian.
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
at
like, I
least-
think you could do a stand-up tour. I don't know if anyone's told you that, but you're funny.
Oh, you're kind. Thank you.
No, you really are really funny. Like, hey guys, I'm about to release this album. Please pre-save it. I want to meet Drake. Like, that's funny.
Well, you're sweet to say that.
Just want you to know that someone's laughing.
Also,
Thank you.
can we please have the Drake Alan Stone collab?
Dude, come on, Drake. Dude, if you're
Gross.
watching.
Drake is definitely not watching, but
Got a
You
lot of
never
good
know.
things to offer. I'm funny.
He's funny.
Look at those
I
girls.
do that a lot as well. I noticed that having many creative desires and ventures all benefit each other.
Yeah.
So I've got really into film,
Oh.
in the last few years,
I
and that's
love that.
really benefited my vision as a musician because they connect.
have you
Yeah.
done any scoring? Like just
I've never done scoring, no,
Ooh.
but I would love to. Mine was like behind the camera, sort of editing, director of photography style stuff, writing scripts, or I didn't write the scripts, but like cultivating ideas for film. It helped nourish my passion for music too, like, and feeling that I was able. For many years in music, I was like, well, I can sing, but I'm not a player, or I'm not a producer, or I'm
Right.
not XYZ. When the pandemic hit, like everybody, had to go back to their holes and try to be self-sufficient. And what that self-sufficiency showed me was like, oh no, I can do all of it. Really, like what I am capable of is good enough for an amount of people to care about.
Do you have a hand, I'm assuming, in like all of the marketing stuff that you do? Like,
Yeah.
for example, I love, and this is just really curious, I love the way that you and Julian were advertising the karaoke tour.
Oh, weird, yeah.
It was so cute. The little lightning questions.
Mhm.
Wait, is that something that you like created that concept yourself? And then you're like, let's shoot that?
Yeah, so that was a collaborative effort between me, Jules, and this production team out of Seattle that I've done a lot of music videos with, and we just work really well together. I called them and said, hey, I need a promo for this tour. And I want it to be like, did you ever watch those Dollar Shave Company video, like when it first came out? You know what I'm talking about?
like the ads.
It was like an ad.
Yeah.
This guy was like in a warehouse and he's like throwing and things blowing up behind him.
chaotic.
It was chaotic. I was like, I want to shoot that. I want to be like a single shot
I love
video.
it. Yeah, the people making out in the beginning.
Yeah, and
Incredible.
it was so much fun. It was like the closest I've ever been to choreographed dancing,
Wow.
because you really, you have to pay attention to the camera. You have to speak into the camera. There's things happening around you that you have to pay attention to.
Right.
It stretched so many muscles physically and performative wise.
Right.
But yeah, that was super fun.
Was it improv or did you?
No,
were
we
those
wrote it.
lines?
We wrote a
You
script.
wrote the whole
Okay.
thing. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for watching that. I appreciate that.
Oh, come on, I'm a fan. I'm like an actual fan. I'm not just telling you because you're
She's
sitting
a
on.
fake fan.
Yeah, I'm like a real fan.
No, I'm glad.
Like when you came in here and I'm like, Gemini, resist the urge, because I always have a song playing in my head. And so
sing.
we've had some people here, getting some finishing touches ready because we really wanted the space to be ready for you. And of course, I was like, if you guys don't know Alan Stone, you should, because they don't speak English. So I've been playing your music. So naturally, I have like Give You Blue. Right now, I'm talking to you, but I'm actually just listening to your music.
Nice. Okay. Good. Got to get those spins.
But you guys were talking about art, and you mentioned that you approach art in the way that maybe an athlete would approach their sport. One of the things that I love about you, just as a person, I know we don't know each other well, but I feel like we do, is that you are a very responsible musician.
Oh.
I think that as an artist, we are very blessed to be the weirdos that we are. And I also think that that comes with a responsibility to reflect the life that we witness. And I think you do an incredible job of doing that.
Wow, thank you.
You have a lot of music. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. You have a lot of music that's very socially conscious and that expresses very important themes in such a way that you almost don't even realize it. So that being said, how do you feel about kind of the balance? Because as it is, sometimes you sit in front of a piano or you sit in front of a guitar, or maybe you write a couple of lyrics and it's absolutely whatever's coming out of your soul. But do you feel that that's true? Do you feel that we as artists sort of have a responsibility to the quality
say something
or what
more
it is that
in our
right.
songwriting.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah, I used to think very heavily that was my purpose. That my purpose was to change other people's minds
With your music.
with my mind.
Ah.
And then I had babies
Oh.
and I realized how potent genetics are and how much better of a tactic it is to spread love than it is to spread ideas.
Yeah, instead of giving you like an actual, like you have to follow this or you're wrong. It's more like, I love you. Let's love each other. Let's understand our differences.
Let's exactly. My probably the biggest song I've ever had is a song called Unaware, and it's like all
Never heard of
about.
it.
Oh, what?
Guys, you're both fired.
It's like all about the government, and I was 23.
Every day.
Yeah.
The deficit grows.
I was 23, and like naturally when you leave the nest of your home, this is a natural thing that happens, right? And this is why kids in college are like so powerful and their ideas are so powerful, because you leave the comfort of your nest. Typically, if you've been brought up the way I was, which was like a beautiful upbringing, loving parents, you leave the safety of your nest and you go into a world that's totally new. And you have to, like you are lambasted.
It's like a
with
second birth.
reality, exactly. And all of these truths that exist in society start formulating your ideas and your ideology. And you kind of push away like what your parents taught you, right? Because you naturally have to cut that social umbilical cord.
Yeah.
So in that day and age, like I was raised in a very Christian home, and I left the home, my house, and cut that social umbilical cord and was like, what? Like religion didn't make sense to me anymore. And naturally through that, like that's what came out in my writing a lot was like, these are my ideas and they matter kind of thing.
So Unaware was live from your grandma's basement, right?
No, his
So-
mother's
His mother's
room.
living
Yeah.
room or whatever. Okay, yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh,
So I was about
gotcha,
to ask
gotcha.
you because if it wasn't actually there, that's funny because the song is actually about
Yeah, it was.
you cutting from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then that was like the whole rawness of it. I was like, oh, chill. He's just like in the basement. His family's out.
It was actually in a storage unit in.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Oh no! Did we
Burien,
just
I
get the
think.
tea?
I don't know if I've ever said that on a thing.
Launching.